Hi, it's Jonna, the Preppy Crafty Girl, and I am here today working in my All About Me journal. I made this journal last year and I haven't really pulled it out and worked in it since. So I came across it and thought I need to add in a couple of pages. I found some photos when I was visiting my mom, and I am just going to kind of add to it. So it's a 3-ring binder. It was an old cookbook, and I just kind of painted and decoupaged and added some trim on the front. And then I went through and intermingled some scrapbooking paper with some vintage book paper, some happy mail from some friends. That was from my friend Sherry. She had made me a birthday card and sent it to me. I added that to it. This is like an envelope with a vintage Velcro packet. These are little journal cards I made a la the Rebookery. And then I kind of did my own little thing with them by putting some trim and adding some word strips. And this is a little flip book I made from different ephemera. And I kind of stitched that all together. I just slid it in the pocket of, I think those are from Hobby Lobby, those photo album inserts. Or it might be Snap, the Snap Pack. So I had made some tab dividers. This was from my trip to Utah to see my friend Lori. And I found out her favorite number is 22. So I put that on there. And then I added like some vintage packaging. That was from a Dymo labeler, I think, that I had. Cookbook papers, and that's a journal page I did. And then I kind of started doing that pocket scrapbooking. I just tucked in a couple of postcards. And when I go through some vintage books, I just am kind of pulling things that just remind me of my life, my childhood, not as much my life now. I'm doing like my daily journaling, I'm keeping in my traveler's notebook. So I believe the scrapbook paper I used in here, well, that piece I think is from a pack from Michaels. But there was that one couture line that I added. I believe that was called Cosmopolitan and maybe by Authentique. That's a pocket I made from some parchment paper. This section is more about my ministry work. And so I found some articles like on Scandinavia and Peru and that, so I just cut them out and tucked them in. This is a box of Quaker Oats, and I turned it into a little notepad. The Quaker Oats recipe was one of my favorites. I love oatmeal raisin cookies. Oh my goodness. And then I guess I cut out those little the book pages for some quotes that were on there. So I start out by kind of tucking things in as I find them, and then I will I'll add photos and journaling just as as I find photos or whatever, or something inspires me, then I can go back and so I kind of use those to spark like that RV there yet. I'm going to do a whole thing on my vintage camper and camping and that kind of theme. I added a little slide from Italy, and this I'm going to add some photos of I went to Italy and went to the UK. That is from Florida. That's where I live now. This is a manila envelope that came in the mail. I cut it in half and I just tucked some bits and pieces in. That's like a stamp when you collect grocery stamps back in the day, like S&H Green Stamp and that. A lot of the grocery stores had their own version of S&H. And then there's a pocket on the back of it. And then this is another flip I did with tags and different postcards. That was out of a magazine and I put flocked rub-ons on it. And that is another one of those, I believe it's 6x8 pocket journaling things. And I covered the inside of the book with an old yearbook pages. So I came across this photo at my mom's, and it's of me, and I was on my bouncy horse, and it was Davy Crockett, used to be on TV, and that was my favorite show when I was little. And I would sing that song, Davy Crockett, Man of the Wild Frontier, over and over again while I wore my raccoon hat and my little guitar, and I would sit on my bouncy horse and just pretend to be Davy Crockett. We lived on a big farm in uh, Sharon, Massachusetts. So I had lots of imagination and lots of wilderness to explore my imagination. And that one book page I was showing you was how to write your story. And I pulled that out of a book because it helps you in your journaling and how to tell a story. That's why I had pulled it. And it has some journaling prompts on there. So I found in the book I just bought at the thrift store recently, I found a page in it that had a boy watching TV. And I wish it was a girl, but it wasn't. And I actually went back through the book to find any girl that I could put over that boy. So it's a boy, and yeah, I'll just keep looking through children's books till I find a girl that is sitting in that position and facing that direction, and then I'll just glue it over it. But for now, it's fine. So I'm putting that on the back of the other book page because I didn't want to cover over the Davy Crockett page. I wanted to keep that page intact, but I wanted to add the photo. I really didn't feel like wanting to do a flip out or anything like that. So when I found the photo of the boy watching television, I was like, oh my goodness, this is perfect. So here I am struggling, trying to get the page straight onto the other page. And when you don't cut something straight, it is hard to get it straight. So it's a little wonky, but I'm totally fine with that. I love wonkiness. I just call it artsy, artistic. So here I am, and I am going to skip this process because I was going through this book actually looking for a photo and see that girl, even though she's like sitting, she's facing the wrong direction. And yeah, so I'll be back. And okay, I'm back. I couldn't find the girl, like I said, so I'm just now going to add my photo with some plaid washi tape that matches the background of that picture, and also kind of goes with the sepia tone in the photo. I don't necessarily want to glue it down because I can't remember if this is an original photo or if it was a copy. So for now I'm just going to washi tape it in, and then I believe it's a copy, but I'll have to go and check through my photo box. I usually don't, when I'm doing like journals like this, I don't use the original photos. I usually make copies uh, because I know I'm not using it on acid-free. A lot of the product that I'm using is not acid-free, so I don't want to use my original photos just for the integrity of the photo. So I stuck that down, and then I am kind of reading through the prompts, and I'm going to pull out some of these to and froms. So I have found a bunch of different mailing to and froms in my stash, and I am having the best time using them as journaling stickers because they have lines. So I'm using the to and the from, and I'm just going to write a little bit about what Davy Crockett means and what it meant to me as a young girl. And so I'm just kind of journaling that, and I will speed up this process for you. Okay, so now I'm just going to put the stickers down. I don't have to add any more glue to them. They are already really sticky. I'm just putting the other one on the other side. This brought back so many memories. Oh gosh, not only Davy Crockett, but Little House on the Prairie. I used to pretend I was Laura Ingalls, and then I'd build forts in the sumac trees that were on our property. And I remember watching all the cartoons that were on Saturday morning. And I know they're bringing back the Banana Splits, which was one of my favorite shows. But now they're like making it evil. They made some evil version of Banana Splits, and I just am so upset about it because that was like one of my favorite shows. That, and I used to watch the one with the monkeys that were astronauts. I forgot the name of that one. It used to like chimp something. I can't remember it offhand. If anybody can remember that show, it was like real live chimps, and they dressed them up like astronauts, and some of them were, one of them had like a monocle. If anyone can remember it, put it in the comments please, because I cannot think of the name of that show, but I used to watch it on Saturday morning. That was like one of my favorite Saturday morning. And the other one was with Witchy Poo, H.R. Pufnstuf. That was another one. I used to love H&R Pufnstuf. So that was like my Saturday morning lineup. I loved Saturday mornings, just sitting in front of the TV, and my mom would make breakfast and bring it out. And I'd just sit and watch all my cartoons all day. It was great. So I'm just adding it to my book, trying to decide where it's going to go, and I need to punch the holes. And then I noticed it was a little bit long, so I'm going to trim off some of the excess, a little bit long and a little bit wide, but I'm going to mark the holes right now. So I'm just using a single hole punch. So I'm marking where the 3 holes are using my little single hole punch, and just going to punch through and then add it to my page. Oh, I couldn't see, that's what I was doing. I couldn't see the where I put the mark because I put black on black, and then because it's old paper, the black absorbed the black ink. Oh goodness. Okay. Yeah, so I have to trim it down. But oh my goodness, I just loved doing that page. I loved just remembering happy times. And I really need to work in this journal more. I forgot how much fun it is working in a binder that you can just basically set up however you want. So I go back in because I wanted to trim it down, and I also decided I wanted to put the Davy Crockett King of the Wild Frontier down first, like have it on the other side. I do that a lot too. Oh, I guess not. I guess I decided to keep me on the front of the page and then Davy Crockett on the back. So I'm punching the holes again. I'm sorry, but hey, this is real life in my crafting world, and I'm sure yours. So thanks for joining me for this journal with me crafternoon, because I'm filming like quite a bunch, planning on doing a few more pages in this book, and I'm gonna go back and do some things in my TN, and then I'm setting up a Christmas binder. I decided I was gonna do it in a binder this year. I did mine in a TN last year and I loved it. But now that I am doing this in the binder, I may do my December daily. If not, I'll put together a binder for December daily and I will put it up for sale. So thank you again for watching my video. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. And put down something in the comment about what Saturday morning cartoons did you enjoy watching and look forward to all week. Thanks again. See ya.